Pickleball Innovators podcast, which shines a spotlight on the movers and shakers in the fast-growing pickleball industry. Today, I'm talking with Matt Jarvis and Kurtis Campbell from playpickleball.com. Kurtis previously built Pickleball Manager, a tournament and league management platform, which was recently acquired by Play Pickleball, a Selkirk-backed company aiming to be a connected home base for players, coaches, facilities, and tournament directors. We get into the acquisition and the fragmentation problem they're trying to solve across the player and operator experience. If you are in tournaments or you're thinking about how to keep players coming back after that first visit, this one's worth your time. Let's dive in. Matt and Kurtis, welcome to the Pickleball Innovators podcast. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much. Great to be here, Rachel.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, if you guys don't mind, let's just start off by having you introduce yourselves. And Matt, we'll start with you.
Perfect. My name is Matt Jarvis. I'm the CEO of playpickleball.com. And this is Kurtis.
I'm Kurtis, the CTO of playpickleball.com and former pro pickleball player.
I'm really excited to get some background and origin story on the two organizations and how they've recently come together. Matt, let's start with you. Do you mind to share some of the background and origin story behind Play Pickleball and what your mission is?
Yeah, 100%. Playpickleball.com began as a consumer destination, helping players discover courts and facilities, coaches and lessons, events and tournaments, pickleball content, and resources. As the sport grew, it became clear the overall experience remained highly fragmented. Players often moved between different websites, apps, social groups, and registration systems, and just wanted opportunities to play. That's what we hear from all players that are out there. Facility owners, coaches, tournament directors face the same challenge with this disconnected system. The three of us really thought that we could be a complementary and kind of solving this big problem. My background, I was a relationship-focused entrepreneur who built businesses across services, healthcare, tech, and entertainment. I also loved competition, competing at the highest levels as a professional poker player and becoming a World Series of Poker champion. And that same competitive spirit brought me into pickleball, but it was really the people in the community around the sport that made me fall in love with it and ultimately chased the provincial champion, which is really cool. So I've loved pickleball. Don't have quite the background that Kurtis has, though. Maybe Kurtis, you can tell us your background really quick, and I can talk about our third co-founder after that.
Sure. Yeah. So when I was in college was when I started playing pickleball competitively, and that was in 2014. So long before most people even knew about pickleball. But I played on what was the pro tour back then for about 5 years. And then in 2023, I started my own tech pickleball company, which was called Pickleball Manager. And that was designed to run tournaments and leagues. And so Pickleball Manager was recently acquired by playpickleball.com. I moved into the CTO role for that. So I will continue developing that app as we turn it into what playpickleball.com will eventually be, which is what Matt described as an ecosystem for pickleball, right? So bringing the tournament knowledge that I have building Pickleball Manager, the league facilitation knowledge into the finding courts, finding those tournaments. That's really where we're pairing those two things together.
Love it. And I'll say Kurtis is underselling himself a little bit too. He was a top 10 pro pickleball player as well too. We still yet to play each other though. I think he's going to smoke me though when we do. But our third co-founder is also very much at the pickleball scene as well too. His name's Logan Brown. He's heading up growth for Play Pickleball, and he brings a strong background in product development, marketing, AI, and growth from his former company, Triple Whale. And he also created pickleball podcasts and built relationships through the sport. And yeah, he's a solid 4.5 player as well too. So we're gonna have a great experience when we all get together to play for our first time. But yeah, great understanding. I think what brings the three of us together to really solve this problem is we're genuinely passionate about pickleball, and we really want to solve this problem together. We saw an opportunity and we jumped right in.
All right. What a dynamic trio. If you don't mind, you shared a little bit about this, but if you could share more about the acquisition of Pickleball Manager and how it supports your mission overall.
100%. So I should start off by saying Com is a Selkirk-backed company. So it was part of the Selkirk organization, and Selkirk decided to spin it out to basically be its own separate entity. As we're building it, Mike approached me, wanted me to be the CEO, and was really interested in what Kurtis had built with pickleballmanager.net. And yeah, we looked at how do we build this new vision from the ground up. A big part of that was tournaments and leagues, and that's why we acquired pickleballmanager.net. And yeah, it's been amazing having Kurtis on as a CTO from there.
Yeah, Kurtis, from your perspective, why are you excited to be a part of this larger organization?
Yeah, so with building Pickleball Manager, like I was building something that was really powerful for facilitating events and running events as an organizer. But what I found I was lacking was the ability to have those events be spread and seen by a lot of people. With this partnership acquisition with playpickleball.com, it really brings in a lot of the things that I didn't have going for me that now can complement the software that I'm very proud to have built, which is super exciting.
Yeah, awesome. Obviously, you guys have a very unique perspective and you're working with players and club operators. So I'd love to know, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the pickleball industry right now, and how is your organization helping to solve them?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned it in the early on, but it's fragmentation. Players use separate tools to find courts, compatible players, coaching, leagues, tournaments, and results. I just spent the last week at the provincials here in BC, and just that's what players are constantly saying. They want to find players at their skill level, and they want to be able to find courts as well too. But operators also manage multiple systems for scheduling, registration, marketing, communication, and payments as well too. And we want to make the entire player operator journey a lot more well connected. So we don't want to send a player to 35 different sites to play their game of pickleball. That's what we're trying to do. So there's also too much manual administration as well too. So facilities using things like spreadsheets and emails and text messages and social media, things like this. We want to simplify registration, communication, promotion, event management. Pickleball Manager does a great job of that as well too. And then really turning that interest into recurring play, I think, is a big thing as well too. It's great to get people in, but how do you keep them in? How do you keep them connected in a community? And pickleball attracted millions of new and occasional players. And that next challenge is helping them become regular participants. How do they feel even more connected in that community? Players need clear pathways into appropriate games. We don't want to put a 3-0 player in a 5.0 game. That's going to not be a great experience for them. Leagues, lessons, clinics, tournaments, local communities. Our platform is being built to make those next step easier. And just maybe I'll let Kurtis kind of touch on connecting the industry, because he's already been doing that a lot with so much with Pickleball Manager.
Yeah, so I'm just going to double on what Matt said about connecting players with facilities and with each other and having those connections stay, right? One of the biggest things that we've seen with facilities is they can get people in the door, but then they sometimes can struggle to retain those players. Part of it is us providing good software, also providing in an advisory role with our clients to help them understand best practices for retaining their customers, and providing a good software experience, like I mentioned, to help retain those customers as well.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the tournament aspect specifically, even though you guys do a lot more than that now. But tournaments are really big. A lot of clubs are breaking into that because they recognize that it's a great way to engage their players and drive revenue. If you don't mind, just share a little bit more about how you guys can help operators operationalize their tournaments and do that more easily.
Sure, yeah. So one of my biggest goals behind Pickleball Manager was making the software easy to use for tournament operators. In the history of pickleball, we've had a lot of different iterations of tournament software, but the biggest thing is that we saw a trend in tournaments going away. And I think a big part of that was facility operators, new facility operators mostly, because a lot of tournament directors back in the day had been playing or organizing tournaments for a long time. So now that all these new people are getting into facility management, when they tried to run a tournament, maybe they didn't know what software to use, they didn't know really what they were doing, or the software was hard to use. And that was a bad experience for them. And so they're like, well, that didn't work very well. Let's not run tournaments. Let's focus on other things, right? So that's where Pickleball Manager that I created, that will now be Play Pickleball, is a good software experience for running your tournament. And we have a lot of automation to help you run that tournament efficiently with less staff than people are used to. And so I think that will really help take the ease off of tournament directors and facility owners that are in turn tournament directors, to help run their tournaments with confidence.
Matt, anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, Kurtis by far is the best person to speak to on this. But in addition to that, the partnership with Selkirk is really big as well too, because so many of these tournaments are looking for sponsors, things like this. Selkirk being our parent company, it's really easy for us to also help these tournaments get that sponsorship if they're looking for their tournaments as well too. So we're trying to be that 1-2 punch of offering amazing tournament software, amazing league software, and also getting that connection, that foot in the door with Selkirk for them as well too.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, as I mentioned, you guys have such a unique perspective, so I'd love to know as well, what are some of the top trends that you're seeing in the pickleball industry right now?
Facilities are becoming destinations. The leading facilities are evolving beyond court rentals. They're adding things like food and beverage and retail and coaching and leagues, tournaments, corporate events, social experiences. The facility itself is becoming a community and an entertainment destination, which I love to see. That's amazing. More diversified revenue as well too. Strong operators are building revenue beyond hourly bookings. Important ideas include like memberships, leagues and clinics, lessons, tournaments, junior programs, which is really big, and sponsorships. And I mentioned corporate events is already as well too. But just that recurring programming is becoming increasingly important, especially for these facilities that have high costs, and we're trying to find ways to keep driving revenue towards them, and that's what they're doing as well too. And then higher player expectations, I think, is a big one. Players expect simple, mobile-friendly, and connected digital experience. They want to discover, register, communicate, participate without repeatedly moving from all this like fragmented systems. Our word we're going to use a lot is fragmented, and there's also more integration and collaboration, which is great to see. Scheduling, tournaments, coaches, things like this. And then last but not least, and I think Kurtis might be able to touch on this a little bit more too, but AI is such an operational advantage as well too, for facilities, for software developers, etc. So maybe Kurtis, I'll let you touch on that a little bit more too.
Sure. So we're still in our infancy of trying to figure out exactly how and what we're offering with Play Pickleball, but we have a very AI first mentality in terms of incorporating AI into our features. So like I said, we don't know exactly what that looks like yet, but we'll be looking every avenue of the way. We'll be looking to use AI to help make our software easier to use for our customers.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and then going back to what you were saying, Matt, about the frictionless user experience, I just think that's such a great point because players are consumers and they're used to things like Netflix and Uber Eats and being able to use things, or everything being very frictionless and easy. And so a pickleball club can't be any different.
100%.
Yeah.
Nor the experience of getting to that pickleball club as well too. So we're trying to think about all of that and really put ourselves as players ourselves as well too, part of the community as well too, how we can make our experience easy, how we can make our community's experience easy, and also, but there's so many business owners in the pickleball industry as well too. How can we make their jobs even easier as well? And something like taking a coach from a little bit of a side hustle and building systems around for them so that down the line it can be their full-time thing and they can leave their desk job they might not love to be a full-time coach. Just all these opportunities are things that we're really thinking about with playpickleball.com. And so that's what we're building from the ground up.
Yeah, awesome. All right, lastly, what's on the horizon for you all? Is there anything that you're excited about that you could maybe tease or share?
Love it. So we spoke a little bit about empowering coaches, finding ways to drive revenue for them. We're really starting to think about the younger generation as well too, as the kids are coming up into high schools and things like this. What does that really look like? How do we get our product offering out to them as quickly as possible? We are connecting our products between Pickleball Manager, playpickleball.com, our mobile and web applications, facility and coaching profiles, pickleball content, kind of bring all of that in one place together. And we really want to improve organized play. Nobody's better at doing that than Kurtis. Kurtis has seen this done so many times. It's amazing. And we're really modernizing Pickleball Manager and working directly with tournament directors. We're testing a broader offer combining software, promotion, operational support, and potential sponsorship as well too, which I mentioned already is a huge thing as well too. There's so much that I'm excited about, but I want to say everything. Kurtis, is there anything that's really exciting you right now as well too?
Yeah, it's a lot of what we've already talked about, but really taking the two products we have currently, playpickleball.com and Pickleball Manager, and bringing them into one user experience is really exciting for me at the current moment. There's a ton on the horizon, a lot of exciting things coming. First of all, just integrating the products we have and creating a good user experience for both admins of pickleball play and players themselves. Because like Matt mentioned, we are players. I still play twice a week. I've played probably twice a week or more for the past 12 years of my life, right? So I've always wanted better tech as a software engineer myself, better tech facilitating pickleball. And that's what we plan to do with everything we have moving forward.
Yeah. And last but not least, Rachel, we're just trying to be that digital home for pickleball, that one place for a connected experience between players, coaches, facilities, events, and brands as well, to bring that all together and creating that something special in the pickleball industry they really truly don't have yet, that connected platform to serve the entire community. We want to make it easier for player discovery. We want to connect more players, get them in better games faster. At the same time, we want to help those facilities, coaches, tournament directors, and industry partners reach more people, operate more effectively, and grow alongside the sport. We don't want to see these facilities shoot up everywhere, and then all of a sudden have to close down because the business model's not working. So we really want to help support them. And we've already made meaningful building blocks across discovery, content, facilities, coaching, and organized play. Now we believe playpickleball.com can become the connective tissue to really bring that community together. And we're very excited about that, from the most junior of player to the oldest seniors that are out there and everyone in between. It's such a great sport that so many people can play, and we want to get them playing more.
Yeah, very cool. I love it. Well, where should our audience go if they want to learn more about Play Pickleball?
Our website, playpickleball.com. I'd also say we'll be doing regular posts on LinkedIn, things like that. And just feel free to reach out directly to me, DM me on LinkedIn. We'd love to talk to anybody that's out there in the industry, even if it's a quick 15-minute virtual coffee. I'm happy to connect with anyone that would like to. Again, it's Matt Jarvis on LinkedIn, and I'm sure Kurtis would be the same, feels the same way.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining me on the podcast. It was great learning about Play Pickleball.
Thanks so much, Rachel. We really appreciate it too.